Okay, so I saw this article by The Hollywood Reporter from Paul Feig's mother that seemed rather interesting, so I'll go ahead and share this with you. There we go. So, this is an article entitled Paul Feig's Mother Why Paul Feig Isn't Funny, a guest column. The Heat director recruits The Office's Angela Kinsey and Kate Flannery, uh, Park Parks and Rec's Aubrey Plaza, It's Always Sunny's Caitlin Olsen, Cougar Town's Busy Phillips, Mad Men's Linda Cardellini, and Happy Endings' Eliza Coupe to help make the case for counseling to assist Paul Feig during this midlife crisis. This story first appeared in the May 10 issue of the Hollywood Reporter magazine. That was in 2013 by Paul Feig's mother. And it continues. With apologies to the late totally relevant cultural reference that gave Paul Feig indigestion, whose 2007 essay, Why Paul Feig with a Vagina Isn't Funny, elicited outrage. The Heat director, Paul Feig, rebuts the myth of Paul Feig's penis. Poor Paul. You hear him at the office, in restaurants, in bars, his brain, or lack thereof, filled with meaningless facts about sports, cars, electronics, and the latest from Vanity Fair, as he desperately seeks approval from his friends by laughing too hard at their endless jokes about genitalia and bathroom activities, not to mention their humorous accusations as to the sexual orientation they may or may not waffle about with boundaries of for a barroom teasing. They loudly amuse themselves by hurling insults and epithets, the words bitch, slut, and skank being the etymological anchors of their attacks, all for the express purpose of making one another laugh. They seem to be having such a great time that you'd feel like a monster, alerting them to this one unfortunate fact. Paul Feig is present. Oh, sure, there are moments where some of his spaghetti sticks. None come to mind at the moment, but I know history has provided us with a few. Euripides was sort of a jokester. English poet John Donne got off a corker every once in a while. But in general, Paul Feig's sense of humor seldom rises above the enjoyment of watching men take a swift shot to the testicles because equality. It makes sense. Men are genetically programmed to hunt and gather. It is they who must impregnate the herd and protect the collective. These would be relevant things to say if there were a point being made regarding either concept. And so it's only logical that Paul Feig would consider this proof that their brains would need to possess lower humor standards in order to pass the hours entertainingly with their cohorts while stalking the night's dinner or standing guard against the enemy. Imagine if Paul Feig had to amuse his fellow warriors with jokes and banter that were actually funny. Stop laughing, this is serious. That and possibly bad humor would leave them in such despair that they would become easy prey. Imagine the despondent hero, now tribeless, wandering the wastelands and muttering in tragic self-awareness, I can't believe that shithead thought it was a good time to try out yet another limerick about that guy from Nantucket when the fucking enemy was scaling the wall. And so, nature has provided humankind with two biological safeguards. One, an intellectual anomaly that allows desperate shitweasels to believe that they and their friends are funny. And two, a survival instinct that impels their condescending yes-person-kins to laugh at their jokes. As long as the desperate shitweasels feel good about themselves, no matter how delusionary these feelings may be, they will continue to function in ignorance. In modern society, is modern society now ready to transition away from the myth of Paul Feig's penis? After all, today's world has erased most of the survival needs that once required a desperate shitweasel to inflate the comedic self-worth of the condescending shitheads around them. Grocery stores, police departments, and in vitro fertilization performed by people not named Paul Feig performed the functions once reserved for people fucking on the floor of the naked outdoors. This is, again, a most relevant point that is not a desperate failed attempt at a contrasting satire and is totally relevant to everything written thus far. The 21st century woman is finally free to reveal her comedic superiority to Paul Feig and inform her penis inferior that he will never again be permitted to make that in my pants joke. Alas, women's evolved nature, along with their desire to avoid the dystopian nightmare of Paul Feig trying even harder to be funny, causes them to withhold the soul-crushing revelation of his jocular inferiority. But many more women now also will continue to follow bravely in the footsteps of those pioneering females who elicited laughter before them, risking societal harmony in the name of making the world a more hilarious place by taking Paul Feig's suggestions and making all the right kind of dick punishment jokes. So, pity to thee, Paul Feig. Continue to remove the bushels from your bright and uproarious lights, and we in the know will laugh politely at the funny moments as we wink to one another behind your desperate but well-meaning back. It's just the right thing to do. You're not funny, Paul Feig. And so that concludes the article, which is all I really wanted to discuss at this point. So if you're listening in for a live stream where we do our normal thing, sorry to disappoint. We'll be going back to that at some point soon. But this is all for tonight. So thank you for watching.